The following news flash is brought to you by the Lone Star Lowdown, providing your daily bulletins for the commodities market. Today in history, news updates, and the inside scoop into the tides of the alternative. Markets for Wednesday, the 3rd of February, 2016, are currently trading with gold at $1,138.10 an ounce, silver $14.63 an ounce, Texas crude $29.88 a barrel, and Bitcoin is currently sitting at about 370 U.S. currency. Today in history, the year 1966, the Luna 9 Russian spacecraft became the first unmanned probe to achieve a soft landing on the moon, or any other planetary body for that matter. Also known as the YE-6, number 13, it was the first probe to transmit photographic data to Earth from the lunar surface. In recent news, Sandra Merritt, one of the two indicted with tampering with governmental documents in order to create fake driver's license in a plot with anti-abortion activists to obtain the undercover video footage exposing Planned Parenthood for selling human body parts, turned herself into Texas authorities today. She posted her $2,000 bond and was later released. However, the news conference that she was scheduled to hold afterwards was canceled. David Daleiden, the main activist behind the videos, plans to turn himself over to authorities tomorrow, as attorneys have stated. He does ironically face an additional misdemeanor charge related to the purchase of human tissue. Ironic because, if you recall, a grand jury in Houston, Texas, that had been tasked with looking into the wrongdoing by Planned Parenthood announced that it was indicting Daleiden and Merritt instead. The results for the Iowa caucus are as follows. For the Republican Party, Ted Cruz, 8 delegates, or 27.7%. Donald Trump, 7 delegates, or 24.3%. Mark Rubio, 7 delegates, 23.1%. Ben Carson, 3 delegates, or 9.3%. Rand Paul, 1 delegate, 8,481 votes, 4.1%. Officially, Rand Paul did drop out this morning, stating the lack of funds and support as his main cause. Jeb Bush, 1 delegate at 2.8%. Carly Fiorina, 1 delegate, 1.9%. And John Kasich, 1 delegate at 1.9%. For the Democrats, it was actually decided by a coin toss which gave Hillary 6 wins out of 6 tosses. Hillary Clinton got 23 delegates and Bernie Sanders 21 delegates. This has been your lowdown for February 3rd, 2016.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war. I'll be very blunt in my assessment.
Is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
True. Exposed. Radio.
All right, thank you for tuning in. This is Truth Exposed here on the Logos Radio Network. It is February 3rd, 2016. I am one of your hosts, Cuddy Rowe.
Rick Brody.
And we've got a really good show lined up for you today, as
per usual.
And definitely it's been an interesting week in the news as of late.
Yeah. I'm going through some postmortem.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Missing my appendix a little bit.
You're an amputee now. Join the club, man. I'm missing some skin over here too, man.
Yeah, a lot happened this weekend. At the beginning of the week, Iowa caucus, right?
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of coin flipping going.
Boy, is that a joke or what? Let's flip a coin to see who wins.
Hey, let's write a suggestion box for the mob.
It's like a jump to conclusions, Matt, over there.
Totally. And and the whole Bundy situation, the footage being released.
Doesn't look good. Yeah, I watched a nice little breakdown Dan Dix did, and it kind of looks like the man was tased first, and then the officer moved out the way, and then the officers fired on him while he was being tased on the ground.
A couple dozen rounds I was reading, yeah.
Yeah, or
over
half a dozen.
Over 100 initially, I mean, what I had read.
Even shot in the face. It's closed casket and everything.
I don't know if that's the case. I mean, the footage doesn't show.
No, but that's what I've heard from the wife.
It's it's sad situation, and we got Mr. Paul. The dropping out. So
Rand Paul dropped out right after what? He had just won a delegate?
5th place, right?
What? Now you got no chance, bruh.
It's not how many D's you get. It's not how you use them.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so much to cover. And of course, we got the history of Zionism. We're wrapping it up. Continue to trying to wrap this present up, and it's just so much wrapping paper and tape to go around, and
yeah, definitely
bows and whatnot. But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, definitely check out logosradionetwork.com. Got a really righteous, really cool drawing going along. The Logos 2016 giveaway drawing.
Definitely first prize place. The Spikes skull lower receiver, really cool lower receiver. And for second place prize, I got the Taurus Curve, really nice, specially made concealed handgun, for concealed carry, really great. And third place prize, we got a Vapor Kit. So,
and that's for just $25. Puts you in the drawing, and it not only does it put you in the drawing, but it helps you continue the transmission of all these great lineup of shows on the Logos Radio Network for the next year, guys. So this is a listener,
supported, definitely broadcast
community effort here. Yeah, definitely, and that's why we love keeping the lines open, isn't it?
Or transmission, not broadcast. Excuse me.
512-646-1984. So definitely love keeping the lines open on that end. So definitely check out the drawing, and of course check out the great lineup of sponsors that we have on the at the network website, logosradionetwork.com, Non-GMO Solutions, Global Healing Center, Gold Savings Club, and of course, if you're going to do any shopping, do it through Amazon. Go through our page and clear your cookies out.
Yeah, definitely, and help support the network. It's when you click on the link, just so you do know, when you click on the Amazon link, it does go to another page with the link to click on that takes you to Amazon. Just so you know, and clear your cookies first before you do that. And do appreciate you doing it. I abuse it as much as I can whenever I do my shopping on Amazon. So anything you can do to help support the network and help support us here at Logos Radio Network, we do appreciate it.
Yeah, and still taking Bitcoin. So if you cashing out, a lot of people tend to be whatever. You got some spare to change.
Some people want to keep holding on to their Bitcoins lately. It's a little bit it's a little bit sturdier than the the American dollar. I'd say it's not as volatile. I'd say, even though it's volatile, but it's not.
Or oil lately, right?
Oh yeah,
totally. But definitely check out the great lineup of shows that we got on the network, guys. We got Truth News Radio from Australia, the Vaccine Myth Show, Agenda 21, Rule of Law, the flagship of the network. Great show, Eddie Craig and Mr. Randy doing a great job giving you information on court proceedings, all you need to know. The World Report, Thomas Kiley.
Yes, sir.
Getting gibbery here.
Yes, sir. And you can even go to what's that, Rule of Law Radio? I think it's a Rule of Law. What's it .com or what's Eddie's website? I can't remember. Rule of Law, and definitely check out the little package he's got over there for the traffic. I forget what it's called. It's basically a motion. You can get a
talking about ruleoflawradio.com.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a nice little package you could purchase there to basically get all the traffic citations thrown out. So they're all illegitimate. So it's pretty
nice.
Pretty interesting. Everybody needs to take advantage of that as soon as possible, and save money. Every time they try to, pull you over and pick your pocket, you can just pull out the little packet and say, "Nah, I'm not gonna pay you today. Move along." So to get out of a ticket pass. But yeah, definitely check that out.
Legit stuff, and it keeps the transmission going, guys. And like we said, it is listener sponsored. It is a community event. It takes a community, it takes society to be a significant resistance and to build anything of significance. So, do appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. So what we got lined up, Cut?
Well. I mean, you want to talk about any of the headlines, or should we just get into the main topic? Yeah, well, what was it? The Iowa caucus.
Yeah, right. The results.
What was the deal with the sham?
Yeah. Apparently, Cruz won out, right? Obviously, a couple days ago.
I mean, well, obviously, like that didn't. What?
Obviously, from now, but beforehand, everyone thought it was going to be Trump, right?
It felt like Trump.
Right. Yeah. And Cruz was the underdog, kind of. I mean, I would have expected Rubio, who did get third place, of course, under Trump second, but I would have expected Rubio to possibly be the one that may have taken been Trump's biggest, adversary versus Cruz, who seemed more of the constitutional underdog a little bit. Still a Zionist. Still got kicked off the Christian Defense.
He knows how to push his eyebrows together real close and look real concerned like George W. Okay.
Yeah, and what else? What else was interesting? Carson ended up getting 3 delegates, 9% of the votes.
If I only had a brain.
Well, and what I don't understand, and Carson, we've talked about Carson a little bit in the past, haven't we?
Yeah, we have a little bit.
Before we get to Carson, really, we should talk about the top 3, shouldn't we?
Oh, I mean, definitely.
Turns out the top 3 are pretty, definitely Cruz and Rubio.
Extremely
what we would consider Zionistic.
Which is, proves that we don't really jump around, even though it seems like we jump around in topics here, but everything really connects. And keep that in mind. Yeah, keep that in mind. And statements Cruz has made are pretty. If you know what's going on, they're conflating supporting people who are being persecuted with a state that is persecuting people. So they're double speaking right in your face about how let's join together and fight against people being persecuted and support this almighty state of persecution.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we did have recently, if I recall, what was it, that initiative that Glenn Beck kind of fronted with a whole other litany of conservative / even sort of economic libertarian minded people, with Thomas Sowell even writing the pieces against Trump, the hardcore pieces against Trump. And Glenn Beck has outwardly been very much in favor of Cruz and supported Cruz. So it seems like that base may have been the defining factor, because Rubio doesn't really have much of a support base when it comes
Glenn
to
Beck's
the conservative talk.
A big pool.
Rubio wouldn't really isn't really on the headlines in talk radio.
So that's where it's coming from, huh?
It may be. It may be a talk radio, superseding here.
That's what it sounds like.
And
so it's Glenn Beck over Alex Jones. No, I'm just saying.
Oh, does AJ come out for Trump?
Oh, I mean, slightly. I mean, not everybody at InfoWars has, but I mean, Alex supports him because, he sees him as anti-establishment. I mean, not being controlled. So, I mean, he thinks there's a way that, people, he'll listen and pay attention to the people, which, I mean, I think that's a big roll of the dice. I mean, but I mean, he knows more than I do. He's talked to people behind the scenes, he knows, people who are working for Trump behind the scenes. So, I mean, maybe he's right. I don't trust any of them. And I've given up after what I saw happen to Ron Paul, I'm done with the game.
Talking about 08 or 012?
Well, both. It was just double. Yeah, I mean, we basically, man, it is terrible. It is terrible.
It is terrible, isn't it? So it's to no surprise we should see the Cruz, right? The ADL and the Israeli lobby and the Kufi and everybody up there. Valiant, Trump, and Rubio, who has also been very outspoken against Russia, against Iran, in favor of more interventionist foreign policy, in favor of more antagonistic, preemptively attacking foreign policy, as John Hagee has called for, preemptive attacks on Iran, which John McCain has gladly been associated with such preachers. So, is it really a big surprise that we have the top 3, and not to mention Trump, who the whole nationalistic
every
slogan
person you have to pick from is basically going to go along with the same foreign policy agenda, which is
true.
I mean, who you have to pick from?
But we also got Trump, the whole American nationalism, make America great again. So I mean, is it really that big of a surprise that the Republican Party has nationalism and Zionism as its runner-ups? Well, not that big of a surprise to us. So definitely saw that one coming. We got breaks coming as well. So commercial breaks. That is, stay tuned.
You are listening to the Logos Radio Network. LogosRadioNetwork.com.
Am I all right? Yeah, I'm all right.
For watching my love of guns, I'm gonna say, I wanna say it now, but now is today. And love has been given to grab and enjoy. So let's all grab and let's all enjoy.
And we are back live. This is Truth Exposed here on the Logos Radio Network. This is February 3rd, 2016. We're live here every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Phone lines are open, 512-646-1984. I am one of your hosts, Cuddy Rowe.
Rick Rohde. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking it down here as far as this caucus goes. First state.
A bunch of caucasoids.
Yeah, Iowa, big deal.
Yeah.
Got to get some delegates. Got to get some votes.
It's all about the delegates and how you count them.
Yeah, I ain't about the votes.
Your votes, they don't count.
And how you toss them.
Yeah, toss them out the window.
Yeah, toss them out the window.
Toss them in the harbor with Boston tea.
That's where it should be.
Yeah, that's where it needs it. That's where they right out the back door. Right in the dumpster.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, no surprise, ladies and gentlemen. No surprise. We were just talking here last segment before we cut to break. No surprise as to why the top three runner-ups for the Republican candidacy here, at least in the state of Iowa.
They're nationalists.
Are the ultra-nationalists. And we got two outspoken Zionists.
Trump, not so much, really.
Not so much, but Cruz and Rubio,
definitely
for sure.
Big statements. Cruz, I haven't heard Rubio's, but I've definitely heard Cruz's, and I was just like, wow, the way he conflates things.
And you're right. Rubio may be more in the subtle sense of saying, yeah, I'm willing to go to war with Russia and Iran, but not really saying too much stuff
about, like,
Israel per se.
Like, don't stand with Israel.
Even though he said it's the biggest ally we have in the Middle East, I mean, when really Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
really
you know why it's the biggest ally? Because everybody hates us ever since we became friends with them. No one else likes it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're buddies with them. Now everybody hates us because they're the whole crux of the whole mess over there. They're the thorn in the side of the peace.
Yeah, true that.
I'm just saying.
True that. So no surprise that, almost 75%, you got 28% with Cruz, 24% with Trump, and 23% with Rubio. Almost 75% of the whole thing went to, probably, I think so, went to these guys. These
guys, the three wise men.
The three staters.
For real.
Bringing their frankincense and tear gas.
That's a good one.
They're fool's gold.
For real. Yep.
And their
fiat currencies.
Their myrrh, yeah. I don't know what that would fluoridated water.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no surprise because, pretty much the old guard, it should be expected, was to be out at some point. The old Rhino Republican, middle of the road Republican is expected to come out of the equation because, of course, as the Democratic Party continues to get more and more openly socialist and even communist leaning, if not completely just fascist with Hillary.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just right. Where are we going here? So it's forced the Republican base to go extremely Zionist and extremely conservative and nationalistic on its approach. And no surprise. So we do have Carson here, who we were about to get into here. 7-day Adventist. Interesting character. Shouldn't even be running for president as a 7-day Adventist. Don't really understand that association there. Yeah. I mean, that church literally believes that. I mean, not that this is bad or good or anything. I'm like, obviously, it's a belief that, check out Revelation 13 and see what you think about it yourself. But I mean, they see the United States as playing a key role in the formulation of the end times and the mark of the beast and the global empire that forces, Satan's kingdom on earth. Like, they see the United States as being a key figure in this, as bringing that about. So how could someone that's in that faith, even not to mention the founders of this 7-day Adventist church, encouraging their members not to partake in the Civil War and in voting and in politics?
Why would you partake in that?
I don't know. And should be promoting pacifism, but I mean, he's said some pretty right-wing neoconish things himself. So you could even throw in Carson, 9%, the crazy guy that chased people with hammers and 4x4s, right? Was it 2x4s?
Yeah, what was that? Brain surgeon, knock your brain out and then fix it.
Broken brain fallacy.
Yeah, it made you richer. I mean, made the state richer. Somebody.
Yeah, so we can even throw in that. We can even throw in that 9% right there. I mean, pretty much into that neocon.
Definitely.
Chicken hot.
It's
right.
It kind of goes
coup d'etat.
Yeah, it just shows how much someone's willing to go along. Basically, how many votes they got is how much they're willing to go along with the status quo.
How much? Exactly. That mentality, at least in Iowa here, plays within the Republican base. Let's face it, it's the war hot party.
Mm-hmm.
Which really brings us to the next candidate, 5th place, Mr. Rand Paul himself. did do a lot better than was expected. That was expected. He was expected to be last, right?
Yeah.
Second to last. Battling out with Farina or something.
But, he had the whole Stand with Rand movement going on for a while.
And isn't Iowa like a big deal for him in some way? I think.
Yeah, probably
something like that, right?
Something, yeah.
So, no, I mean he did really good. He did really good for a state. Did way better than expected. That's for sure. Got one delegate, 4% of the votes.
To drop out though, I mean, how are you going to keep pushing a message? I mean, it's like, you quit.
Well, he apparently dropped out after getting 4% and a delegate for Iowa. He drops out.
Why didn't he just wait till Trump dropped out?
Why didn't he wait till we went to New Hampshire?
Yeah.
With this whole political process. He said he didn't have enough money was his official reasons, but I mean, I'm pretty sure officially he's gotten donated a lot of campaign money. So I don't understand. Do not understand here.
He probably just tired of the...
He lost a state or what?
No,
he's mad?
It's a sham. I mean...
Is he doing? Does he have the palsy? Is it the? Is he repeating? Is he repeating history over here and pretty much dropping out early, like maybe some other Paul campaigns in the past? That might be the case. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seems like.
Wagging the tail. What do you call it? Wagging the tail.
Wagging the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just. That's just kind of disappointing. Whatever. Last little bit of whatever. Anybody saying anything worth anything?
And he dropped out. That is not cool. Not cool.
He fleshed himself.
Come on, Rand.
Come on, bruh.
What is that one delegate supposed to think? Sending them in solo.
Man.
Can't win any more delegates now.
No.
Don't want to cause a ruckus at the national convention. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. And we're not even been to politics, are we? Good?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Since a long time.
Yeah,
I would say 2012 with Ron Paul's second campaign. It was really my last time at even considering it.
It's not feasible. It's not working. They're not going to let us get rid of or minimize the system. They're not going to let us. It's crazy. Where's the line in the sand at? I mean, we see all this, stuff going on all over the country, from, Ferguson to, Oregon or whatever, just where's the line in the sand? When is enough? I mean, I don't know. When we're all this is like, we're not going to stick together. It doesn't seem like we're just going to get hauled off one by one.
Well, people don't know how to articulate freedom. It's like so many other experiments in control and authoritarianism is until people can articulate their way out, their way to get out of a situation and tell somebody, that's why, rule of law it's so pertinent and so important. Because once you know the process, once you know what to say, what are the key words, you're enabled, you're emboldened.
Yeah, you don't realize that your own words are being used against you. You don't realize that you're even saying anything, Yeah, you definitely need to know how to fight the system and what's actually taking place, so you can no one's half the battle, like they said in G.I. Joe, right? Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got to know what's
coming on a break, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely stay tuned to after these messages. Truth Exposed.
Burglars are breaking into hotel rooms by effortlessly and silently opening those key card locks. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and I'll be back to tell you how the hackers do it and what it means for you, the traveler, in a moment.
Privacy is under attack. When you give up data about yourself, you'll never get it back again. And once your privacy is gone, you'll find your freedoms will start to vanish too. So protect your rights, say no to surveillance, and keep your information to yourself. Privacy, it's worth hanging on to. This message is brought to you by StartPage.com, the private search engine alternative to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Start over with StartPage.
When Janet Wolf returned to her room at the Hyatt in Houston and found her laptop stolen, there was no sign of forced entry, and the housekeeper was ruled out as a suspect. So who done it? A hacker, it turns out, using a digital tool that spoofs the computerized keycard locks in place at 4 million hotel rooms. After break-ins across Texas, the lock company Onity offered a pretty lame solution, plugging the locks with putty. The real solution requires replacing every lock circuit board, something Onity wants the hotels to pay for. But what if they don't? Well, it may be time to stay somewhere else. Motel 6, anyone? I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartPage.com, the world's most private search engine.
Looking for some truth? You found it. LogosRadioNetwork.com.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This lovely 3rd of February, 2016. And we do have a caller on the line here. Be good to go right to him.
Jacob from Texas. How's it going, Jacob?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. What's on your mind?
Cool. So I just wanted to, I know you guys were kind of curious as to why Rand Paul bowed out, and I kind of agree with you. I kind of wish he had stayed in at least until New Hampshire. But I know the reason that he gave was that he's also running for re-election in his senatorial race in Kentucky, and he was kind of getting concerned that he might not get that back. And so that was his verbalized reasoning for just going ahead and dropping out of the presidential race, was so that he can focus more on that.
Okay, he was trying to preserve his spot there.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense. I mean, if we lost him in the Senate completely as well, then
then totally gone. Yeah,
we want more Paul gone.
Yeah,
better to have a senator than no senator at all, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jacob. That's a good point. Do appreciate. That's awesome. Thanks for bringing that up to our attention there.
Of course.
Great info on that. Do you want to add anything else?
No. I just wanted to throw in a little bit of clarity and then let you guys get back to y'all's discussion. I enjoy hearing y'all's history talk, so keep it up.
Cool. Appreciate it, man. Call back anytime.
Yeah, right on, Jacob. Do appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in again. Thanks for listening. And great point of info, right?
Yeah.
Got to be a senator in Kentucky. Got to rerun.
Better a little bit of Paul than no Paul, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe we should have picked it at Jacob's brain a little bit more.
There's always
as far as like maybe waiting a couple more states, but whatever, just to see the turnout and see if it was consistent or not. Fifth place was a steady thing. Or
F-I-F. Yeah. I mean, I just I guess I see what he's talking about. It would just be nice to see, I guess, him try to stick in there and at least be that one little bit of reason left, And
I guess congressional is coming up right this year, so or senatorial. So yeah, good point. Definitely, Jacob. Do appreciate that coming to the attention, and you got to have an official reason anyway, right? I mean, always do.
Yeah, my dog ate my
homework.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's just man, the future's looking bleak, man. It's just looking bleak.
It is a little bleak. It is a little bleak for certain. And of course, Bush, coincidentally, brother Bush over here came in right after Paul. So interesting. It seems like those people,
he's going to stick in there.
Yeah, he's going to stick in there. It seems like those people haven't realized that
they don't know how to.
Rubio's the new way to go.
Rubio. Israel. Yeah, Israel. It's funny how they just do the chants though all the time. I mean, America. Yeah, they were doing that
USA.
At Trump. Yeah, USA and all that. It gets redundant and silly, meaningless.
I prefer the in-depth intellectual debate, don't you?
Yeah, I understand though. People wanting to, change things or think they're going to change things. Think by switching deck chairs on the Titanic's going to help, or switching captains after it's already sinking.
Yeah. My Titanic.
Yeah.
My Rome's. Yeah. Not good, man. Not good. When are we going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, to quit falling into the whole political carnival that is the theatrics of democracy?
And you do realize, it doesn't matter who we choose. Like, maybe one person's just making shorter steps of statism or saying they're going to. I mean, we still have every candidate is still going down the road of totalitarianism. I mean, what in
a lot of ways they are, and this should be a call out really to all the Paul supporters out there. Instead of thinking Rand 2020.
Well, I've seen a few of them as of late, starting to go a little.
Yeah, come on, let's not do that. Let's not do that. At least give us 2 years of downtime where you might actually spend some time spreading the actual philosophies and ideologies of freedom and liberty across the land of these United States. Why don't you just do that instead? That would be much better. Make your own pamphlets. Explain to people self-ownership. Explain to people contractualization. Explain to people secession. Explain to people gun rights and self-defense. Explain to people the right to self-medication. Explain to people the right to trade. The right to not be, to your own privacy, to your own affairs. So many things to cover, ladies and gentlemen. So much information to feed the masses.
Yeah, we all need to find different ways to get the message out, whether it's pamphlets, handing out maybe DVDs or even doing your own YouTube videos. I mean,
reading
a radio
groups,
show, whatever.
talking to people. Yeah.
Having
Going out in
meetups,
public.
Yeah, going out in public. I like just talking to random people sometimes, and just breaking that, mold of like, oh, you can't talk to your neighbor, you can't talk to somebody randomly, and just bring something.
That's
up,
an important one right there. Going to your neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to all the people on your street, all the people in your building, if you're living in an apartment or whatever. Yeah, and really get to know them in the sense, at least, you don't have to become their best friends or anything. But I mean, yeah, a sense to the point to where
Hey,
at
how's
least
it going?
you know
You're enjoying your statism today. What is that? Yeah,
well, you
want boot on your neck.
you want to let them know what's up. I mean, you want to be like, hey, you want anything as far as natural remedies go? You want anything as far as like starting, an alternative system that isn't state funded?
So true. Talking about natural remedies. I took my sister up to Brave New Books this weekend, and we went and got some great vitamins and supplements and stuff. And it's really sad that people don't want to start taking care and taking responsibility until they're starting to hurt and they're starting to feel the quote unquote burn. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really sad. I mean, you just see that that's what's going to happen with America. I mean, we're going to go and hit the rock bottom before people are like, willing to listen to other people for, other,
but the
other answers.
True. But the harvest is plenty. True. There are always people that are ready.
There are, and I see people waking up every day still.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people who were status yesterday and who are now catching on. I'm like, wow, it's not over yet.
Not over.
It's not over. No, we're growing, and I see where it's going to get to a popular tipping point, and then it's gonna,
and then Bluebeam's gonna scream.
yeah,
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, then they're gonna have to put Jesus in the sky and all the other gods and
UFO takeover.
Yeah,
in the skies. Big trumpet sounds
we already saw it, right?
From
the city's floating in China, right? Go look that up. Cities in the sky in China.
Yeah, it sounds like projections to me.
Yeah. I don't see. I've never heard of floating city.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling me you can't reflect stuff? Laser beams off all the metals.
I saw Tupac, bruh, like the other day on stage, and Al Gore too.
Yeah.
I've seen them holograms already. Yeah, they're just
3D projections.
Yeah. I mean, they could just make a giant version of it, like those huge, lights they shine in the sky when they want you to go, buy some car at night or whatever it is.
Right.
Some party or whatever.
Right. True.
Same deal.
Same dealio. Same scheme.
Yeah.
Same dream/nightmare, actually.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's pretty much our take on the whole palsy thing. I mean, in the end, it's coincidental to say the least that
he's the least,
it's like, come
nationalist.
on.
He's the least Zionist.
Should have stuck it in a little bit longer.
But yeah,
a couple more states.
They don't trust him. They know he's playing with them.
In either way,
they don't trust him.
Regardless of our view falling out, you can disagree or agree or whatever. Really, the main point is how we're going to get freedom out there. How are we going to get liberty out there into the minds and hearts of people around us?
See, that was the whole point of like Ron Paul.
Right?
I mean, even though he wasn't going to win, he was able to wake up so many people. Because when people heard the truth, they're like, hey, wait a second. That's truth. I never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah. Explain people that no such thing as a free sandwich.
I swear, so many people just heard what he was saying and were like, huh? Nobody ever said that. Ever. Yeah.
Ron Paul was killing it.
Yep.
Waking everybody up. People still sleeping, though. People still sleeping. That's why we're transmitting over here. We are coming on the break, ladies and gentlemen. Truth Exposed Radio here on the Logos Radio Network. Stay tuned.
After these messages.
Zionism. Coming up.
Easy.
We are back live. Thank you for tuning in. This February 3rd, 2016. This is Truth Exposed here on the Logos Radio Network. And we were just about to get into the, the history topic of the day, breaking down Zionism. And, for some of the points we're going to be breaking down, you could always go to our Facebook page, Truth Exposed Radio. And we do have, several links, videos, books, all kinds of, little
quotes,
articles, quotes, bits of information for you to check out on the topic to back up everything we're saying. Because I know sometimes that it's really hard for us. We have a short amount of time for us to break down every single detail. But it's really pertinent to everything that's going on today, and you can see it's in the agenda today. I mean, this is why we're talking about this Zionism. And for a while there, I didn't really understand what Zionism really meant. I'd heard it and just really didn't understand what it was. And it took a little bit of studying to figure out, what it actually was. It's not as simple as a religion.
Well, yeah, we discussed the two main branches, right? The religious Zionism and the political Zionism last show, where basically religious Zionism is the idea that Messiah is going to rule one day, the world and rule everybody or whatever. He's going to bring Zion down to earth. And then there's the political wing of Zionism, which is basically the idea that the Jewish people, whoever they term to be Jewish, have an inherent, natural, divine, God-given right to a homeland of their own, and preferably in Palestine and in that area, because it fits the biblical narrative so much better. Even though that necessarily wasn't the initial goal, right? I mean, they had many ideas of going into Africa, having a Jewish state in Africa, having a Jewish state in Argentina. Many different options that were considered at these World Zionist Congresses, which, as we were barely getting into last week, which we're going to start off now, is, they had these institutions in place 50 plus years before there was a 1948.
And there's a real reason for this, because they had to gain support for this crazy radical idea, and they had to do it through religion, because it's the only way they're going to get everyone to go along with it. So they even got Christians to believe it was their duty.
When your idea is not good enough to be followed by reasonable people, make it a religious idea. You may gain, you may have better chances at that one.
And so you do see one of the reasons, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are turned off to religion. I mean, it can become statist. It can be coercive. I mean, people,
almost universally always does become statist, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. Almost. True.
So the World Zionist Organization, ladies and gentlemen, 1897, was founded as a Zionist organization initially, 1897 through 1960 when it changed its name. It was an initiative started by Theodore Herzl, of course, at the first World Zionist Congress, which took place in August.
This is about 52 years before. This is
August of 1897 in Basel, Switzerland, as we were talking last week. So. Yeah, I mean, they had a Zionist Congress every year. So
this is just proof. I mean, these people aren't working in let's get something done tomorrow or whatever. This is 50 years in the making.
And it isn't just like, something miraculously just spontaneously appeared out of nowhere
50
in 1948.
Years in the making.
It had been a long process.
They've been prepping and preparing and problem, reaction, solution this thing.
What they've setting the foundation.
Exactly. They've been perpetuating reasons for this to have a state. I mean,
fabricating consent.
There you go.
In order to support it.
That was a better way of saying it.
Well, it was. That's
what I was trying to say. That's what I was. Yeah, exactly. Fabricating consent. That's exactly what they're doing.
It was Noam Chomsky actually who coined the phrase.
Oh, Chomsky.
He's a leftist socialist, but
sometimes he says some good stuff.
And by leftist, I mean like he calls himself a leftist, but he's not. It's like. Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of other things they call themselves that aren't,
liberals and
the rest of the stock.
Yep.
For sure. So, first World Zionist Congress took place 1897, August, in Basel, Switzerland. It was founded on these following goals. It was stated in a resolution that came before the Congress called the Basel Program. Zionism aims at establishing for the Jewish people a legally assured home in Palestine. For the attainment of this purpose, the Congress considers the following means serviceable.
And they admitted it was Palestine.
One, yeah, right. The promotion of the settlement of Jewish agriculturalists or farmers, artisans, and tradesmen in Palestine. The Federation, united organization of all Jews into local or general groups according to laws of the various countries. And the strengthening of the, because this is the second to last clause here, the third one, the strengthening of the Jewish feeling and consciousness, that is national sentiment or national consciousness. So, this idea of creating a Jewish culture that needs to be preserved through a state, through a nation. And finally, the preparatory steps for the attainment of those governmental grants which are necessary for the achievement of the Zionist purpose. So they sought a lot of money from the get-go. 1897, August 1897.
Well, it shouldn't have been hard to get the money.
We'll see.
The Zionists are balling.
We'll see that it really wasn't. It really wasn't. The World Zionist Organization consists of the following bodies: the World Zionist Unions, the International Zionist Federation, the international organizations that define themselves as Zionists. There's many of those, including Christian organizations that call themselves Zionist. And also this includes the Wizzo, the Hadisha, the B'nai B'rith.
That sounds like a big one.
Yeah, the Maccabi, the International Sephardic Federation, the three streams, of course, of the three branches of world Judaism, which include the Orthodox, Conservative, and the Reformed, and delegates or a delegation from the CIS Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Independent States of the former Soviet Union. Interesting. So Ashkenazi, Khazaria.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Yeah, we all good.
We all Zionists.
The World Union of Jewish Students. Wooges. What would Wooges? What up?
Wu-Tang. Wooges Clan.
The World Union of Jewish Students, and many more. Many.
Oh yeah, there's I mean, if you just type in one of them, and you'll see a list of a whole bunch of other ones pop up.
Yeah,
through the roof.
Organizations give birth to daughter organizations, would give birth to sister organizations.
And they're really just like, the secret societies and everything else, front group after front group after front group,
Yeah. Keep you searching.
Yeah. It's this person, it's this group. And then they're all under, one of the giant.
Keep you in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, keep you in the rabbit hole.
The mole's tracking system. You're just stuck in there on all the tunnels they built.
It's like an anthill or whatever.
It's a maze.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, it's Byzantine. It is. It's completely complex. It's very complex. They're a little maze of confusion and all their front groups. And I mean, everyone always, when you first start getting into it, you're like the Masons. And then you're like, the Rothschilds or you hit the head on that, But, you fill in all the blanks and all the groups, and then you start, there's just tons of front groups. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, nonstop. And that's how they do, for sure.
And, it's a way they do business in a way to get away with things.
You start publications, you start all these different things that community organization groups, non-governmental organizations, nonprofits, and you get all these subsidies, you get all these handouts, you start working the government, the goy teat.
They know they know how to get the money out of the system that they created. I mean, yeah, no doubt.
They're pretty good, man.
Definitely so.
So history of the Zionist organization here. Of course, 1897 was when they had the first Congress, but the Zionist organization, what was up with them, right? It changed its name to the World Zionist Organization in 1960. Not organization, I'm sorry. Organization here. I'm mumbling here.
They are egging us on.
I feel some voodoo.
They call them an antagonization.
Yeah. Right.
Not an organization, an antagonization.
For real.
World Zionist antagonization. That's for real, man. That's for real. They're antagonization. They're antagonizing the hell out of
Don't give me no anti-Semitic. Give me some antagonization.
Gotta love them Zionists.
So the Zionist organization served as an umbrella organization for the Zionist movement. Of course, we all know the objectives, right? A Jewish homeland in Canaan, in Palestine.
The Reichland.
Which at the time was pretty much under the Ottoman Empire. The sultans, which were brought down by the Young Turks, which we got into. Mr. Mustafa.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Young Turks.
The crypto Jew. Yeah, the crypto Jews brought down the sultans, which the sultans owned the land of Palestine, which then the Palestine, after the sultans were brought down, was given to these Jewish settlements through the Balfour Declaration.
Yeah,
keeps getting intertwined in here. It's getting messy, isn't it, guys?
I thought it was ordained by God.
No, we're about to break down, ladies and gentlemen, that in fact this is very much ordained by man. And that usually means the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, and if
the edge of a sword.
Unless your God is the Rothschilds and Lord Balfour. Well, they do call themselves Lord. Lord Balfour, Lord Rothschild, Lord.
The Duke of...
Duke of Earl.
Most worshipful master. Whatnot.
Hey,
we all gotta see God one day, man. Judgment coming upon us all, so
stay tuned.
As soon as we break. We were back, ladies and gentlemen. Truth Exposed Radio here. We are chilling live, of course, every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Feel free to call in 512-646-1984. And we are live, as you guys well know, thanks to the Logos Radio Network, an awesome network that keeps an awesome, really righteous list of shows on their transmission list.
Definitely. Don't forget about that new show that they just recently, what is it, on the weekends here?
Yeah, it's got John Bush and William Friedman.
What? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's always good to have, some John Bush back on the radio.
Be Brave Radio.
Be Brave Radio.
Saturdays, 11 to 2. Definitely check them out on the Logos Radio Network. Definitely a new show. And, of course, you guys know, we got the crypto show lined up right after us. Always breaking down what is down with the crypto scene.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned for them. They're going to have some pretty good guests on, after us.
The Cypher Up scene. Yeah, Mr.
Lord McAfee. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, John McAfee. That's what's up. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So definitely stay tuned after this show for a crypto show.
Yeah, and you guys well know that it is the beginning of the year. I mean, of course, bills are always due, whether it's the beginning of the month or beginning of the year. Bills are due. So we got to get this transmission going, guys. We got to get these radio waves blaring, and it does require you guys helping us out with this drawing we got going.
Yeah, Logos 2016 gun giveaway definitely only takes $25 to get into the drawing, and you could win a first place prize, a Spike's lower receiver.
Looks like the Punisher.
With a skull, like 3D engraved, like where the magwell goes. I mean, this thing is awesome. Just at least go to Logos Radio Network .com just to look at it. I mean, it
looks like something the Punisher would be styling.
Yeah, it looks like something from definitely off a movie or something. And so does the little Taurus curved pistol, which is pretty cool. It has a built-in light and a built-in laser. And I actually just watched a little video review on it, and it has a bunch of really cool safety features and is really made specifically for concealed carry. The pistol is actually curved.
It looks like some Mossad / ISIS type of, and by that I mean Israeli secret intelligence services.
It's really
high end stuff over here. British intelligence, MI6.
It looks like I bet you that's like an old spy gun. You know what I mean? Like the new ones are shooting little ice bullets in you and killing Breitbart in the park or somebody. But
that's the kind of gun you use to take out the pilot before you jump out of an exploding plane.
It's pretty cool. So second place prize, me and Marshall were arguing back and forth, but I think
it just looks really cool. It looks like a military weapon. I mean, same with the skull. I mean, of course, the skull thing.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out which one we like better. I mean, I think we like the pistol just because you have an actual firearm right there. I mean, you have to add all the parts to the low receiver.
And of course, we're not talking about I mean.
What?
I don't know. Just thinking here, reminiscent. I mean, people probably thinking, "Oh, you guys getting all slobbery in over guns and whatnot." And it's crazy. It's so violent. It's so
no.
I mean, they're tools. They're tools, and every tool has its purpose, has its place.
I went to open carry at the Alamo here in San Antonio with our brother Matthew Medina, and we were walking around, and neither one of us took any weapons and open carried. But I tell you what, we were around all of these people, and I felt very safe. And, people came around who didn't agree with the open carry and that stance, and they started trying to antagonize people and argue with people. And you know what? All the people with guns were completely peaceful, didn't try to harm anyone, didn't try to do anything. And we're just like, make your move, bro. Like, that's it. It's the wild West wasn't that wild. An armed populace is a peaceful populace. I mean, people aren't going to come and try to rob you when everyone's...
So true. When you're given the responsibility to drive, simple as that, you realize that it's a huge responsibility. Yeah. Quite simply put.
Very quick after you wreck a couple of times and you're young.
Sometimes it takes that. Sometimes it takes you flipping over in the ditch, God forbid.
You're looking down at your car stereo and not paying attention or whatever you're doing and running into somebody, running off the road.
Drinking too many Coors Lights.
Yeah. Hey, then you start to realize, hey, man.
I don't drink that, but that's just, I'm just saying, people that wreck their cars.
Yeah, they drink that Coors. Wrong. They would drink that Coors. Jump in the bandwagon.
Yeah, but I mean, it just it just goes down. So with this territory. You got to learn.
Definitely. Responsibility, I mean, you're not going to be responsible if you don't have responsibility. It's just the way it goes.
You got to get burned in order to get learned.
Yeah, in order to learn, yeah, so. And before we, get onto the subject at hand, third place prize, is a vapor kit from All About Vapor. So
get your nicotine, get your natural remedies. There's a bunch of nice herbal medicines that are very soothing to the conscious.
And even essential oils you can vaporize.
You can vaporize them.
So definitely. You can even look into that further. I mean, ways to fight cancer and other ailments. So Definitely. So, and it helps support the whole network,
transmission,
the whole
network.
Definitely. So, do appreciate that. And we do also have, the links on the right side of the page,
Oh yeah, non-GMO solutions, storable food, guys. No GMOs, no preservatives. Great stuff to store in your pantry, in your garage, whatever. You never know. Stuff goes off the shelves pretty quick. It's not about being scared or being sensationalist or
when
anything
you think
like that.
about things like
about being smart.
When you think about things like the Global Healing Center, Gold Savings Club, all these things are counter
preemptive, aren't they? They're counter. They're
counter-economics. They're
establishing something that's positive and contrary to the
status quo,
degeneration of the status quo.
Yeah, definitely. So that's what we're all about here.
For sure. So do appreciate all the support, all the love, all the free call-ins, all the free listening.
Mm-hmm.
Share the network with as much people as you can, the radio station. Do appreciate you guys just listening in and supporting this, because this is a family effort. This is a community effort, and you guys are part of the community. So definitely a small club. And you know what? Number one rule about Fight Club is
don't talk about Fight Club. No, talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
Talk about number one rule about Logos Radio Network. Talk about Logos Radio Network.
That pretty much puts it in a good light right there. So yeah, most definitely do appreciate you guys. And you this really has to reclarify before you get back into our subject matter. This really has to reclarify that, this is our view. This is our conclusions. This has nothing to do with the network per se.
Exactly.
These are our views on Zionism. These are our conclusions, Truth Exposed Radio's conclusions on Zionism, at least Cuddy and my conclusions. And you know what? You may disagree. You may not like the way we present it. You may not like the words we use, our style, whatever. We just hope that you consider the information that we have been laying out the last couple months now, because, or at least last couple of weeks now, because we've talked about the bloodline and nationality of what it means to be Hebrew. Has that been tainted or not? Is there a possibility that maybe we're all Hebrew? We've talked about it all.
And does that even matter?
Does that even matter? Was that the point of the scriptures? Was that the point of the prophecies?
Because supposedly it did matter. Then all of a sudden that everyone's who's got, we've already been down.
How much percentage do I have to have?
Yeah, exactly. So,
until I'm good.
And there's all kinds of movements of people who claim to be the real, Israelites. And then so what? Do we
Black
give them,
Israelism?
Do we give them the
British
land?
Israelism,
or do they want the land? Or what do they want?
Like, do they want the political benefits and privileges?
Yeah, possibly.
So that's what we're trying to bring to attention, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to bring attention to those points, and we're not in any way talking about the Hebrew race, a race of people, the lineage, the bloodline. We're not collectivists here. We're individualists. We judge people based on their individual actions and their words and how they live and act and how they talk. And you know what? There's no room for racism in that form of philosophy. So sorry, we're not racist.
No, we're really just calling out coercion and statism and force and
as found in Zionism.
Yeah, and people being steered into that unknowingly, thinking that they're supporting people when a state is not that, because
it's a group of a much smaller group.
Above those other people that you think that's
you're supporting. Yeah, it's a smaller group. It's a much smaller group. Yeah,
and when you find out the foundings of Israel, then you realize how small that group is, and they're some of the elites running the entire New World Order, this whole agenda for one world government. And you see what we're fighting for right now, this Greater Israel Project to expand the state of Israel.
Yeah.
In the name of fighting bigotry or whatever you want to say.
And that's what we're getting into, really, is when we talked about so many points on here. It's too much to fit into one episode. When we talked about the religious interpretation of the promises in Genesis to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we've talked about the bloodlines itself. We've talked about, and now we're getting into the political ideology of it and the writings of some of the founders, and especially Theodore Herzl. And yeah, we got to we got to be able to stand for truth here, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be able to reason amongst ourselves and be able to come to a conclusion here that makes sense, is consistent, and is the morally just, the objectively just and ethical position.
Exactly. And as well, in the past, we've covered other religions and their statist factions as well. And this is really, one where you'll see how they all connect, and they really are all at the top connected in this statist, ideology together. And there's little factions of each one that are all leading us all to this whole New World Order, and we're all getting played. We're playing checkers and they're playing chess. And until we wake up to the chess game, we're going to keep making the wrong moves. They're moving left and right and all these angles, and we're just jumping from colored square to colored square. So anyway,
don't even know the rules.
Yeah, we don't even know the rules, exactly. And then go check out Rule of Law Radio and learn how to fight using the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole point of rule of law. Hence, rule of law, right?
Yeah.
The rules are the law, and it doesn't matter who you are. You got to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Zionist organization, as we were mentioning here, served as an umbrella organization for the whole Zionist movement as a whole. And its objective was in creating, eventually, after the first couple of Congresses decided where they were going to have their Jewish homeland, it was in creating a Jewish homeland in the land of Canaan or in the land of Palestine. And this was during the time of the Ottoman Empire. This was before 1915, with the fall of the Ottoman Empire, with the Young Turks and and World War I, essentially. So the British mandate of Palestine, the Balfour Declaration, when the state of Israel was to the point where the state of Israel was declared 51 years later. Well, that was a little bit shorter than 51 years. The British mandate for Palestine was 1917, I believe. But regardless, till 1948, there was many new administrative institutions which were already in place and that it had evolved during the Zionist Congress itself. So yeah, like Cuddy and I were mentioning before, like this wasn't just some spontaneous creation. This is a whole movement in the works. So coming on a break, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay tuned after these messages.
Now.
This is the Logos Radio Network.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back live. Truth Exposed Radio here on the Logos Radio Network. We do appreciate y'all tuning in. And we are breaking down this Zionism 101, the origins, clarifying a few things for you just in case you didn't know. Lots of people, though, listeners do know. Lots of people are well educated. I
would assume.
Some,
presume.
Some people haven't gone down that rabbit hole. I wasn't always there's kind of like a stigmatization.
There's a lot of tunnels.
Yeah, there are a lot of tunnels, and there's also that they put the stigmatism around it, like your race,
the taboo behind it.
Yeah, the taboo. Exactly. That's what I was trying.
The social ostracization.
Exactly.
Yeah. The negative feedback.
Yeah, we're not racist. We're not demonizing
a race, a religion per se.
It's really a ideology,
which religion does fall into it.
True,
philosophy and stuff like that does equate to religion. But I mean, if your religion says it's okay to kill people that aren't part of your religion, then to hell with your religion.
Yeah. And don't be trying to act that out around me, bro.
Right.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
Gonna be dispensing some of God's wrath over here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just gonna.
Self-defense. Self-defense. I mean, you can't.
I'm not going to stand by and let women and children and innocent people be harmed.
Now, granted, we should have enough faith that we would hope that angels or something of the sort, some supernatural event stepped in to help us out. But sometimes we do have to take matters in our own hands. Now, that does come into a whole debate as far as Christian pacifism and just war theory and all that.
True.
But something that maybe we could say for another day for sure, because that's a whole breakdown.
We'll be here tomorrow breaking that one down. Definitely.
So many aspects. You can't just be one-sided on things. You need to take all honesty on.
There's all this what ifs and blah blah blah. I mean, it goes down forever. So definitely. We'll tackle that another time.
Though it is pretty obvious that Jesus, for the most part, his personal life, I mean, other than the money changers.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Very true.
It was pretty much pretty passive.
I don't know specifically, but I mean, I don't think I think he was passive to detriment on himself, maybe someone doing something, but I don't think, doing something to others. I don't know. I doubt he would just stand around and let someone do something to a woman or a child, though. I mean, he did whip the money changers out and they were messing with people's.
Yeah, he was healing mothers without hope and children without, with diseases and disablements or whatever. I mean, totally. So with this Zionist organization here, being formulated and not changing its name to the World Zionist Organization until the 1960s, And it's really important, ladies and gentlemen. This is the key point here. It's important to remember that this was, again, we can't stress this enough. This was 50 plus years in the making. 50 plus years in the making, hardcore wise. I mean, it was really more in the making before that.
People don't even know that Israel's only like 50 years old or something. Like, I mean, you'd think it was around since the beginning of time, the way people are over there willing to send their kids to die for it. And Christians think that that's their land. I've talked to, why are you over there? Why are you believing that? That's our land. No, that's not your land. You're crazy. Like, it's just,
they don't understand the spiritual application of the promises made to Abraham. And Paul really sets it straight in Galatians, 3 and Romans 9 and chapter 11 and chapter 2 and so on and so forth. I mean, Paul sets it straight. I mean, not to mention all the things that Jesus said against the Jewish nation and against their unbelief and against
their heresies and everything else. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're trying to call out wrong from right, and that's it. And so let call a spade a spade. Let the chips fall where they may, but we're gonna call it like it is, as we see it, until we learn, some other facts that shine more light on, and then we'll change our views. Until then,
right. And one thing is a spiritual application, which we talked about here briefly right now, which we have talked about in past episodes about this more in depth. And right now we're focusing on the political aspect, which was very secular. So, like, even for those people that are very secular and believe that somehow the Jewish people deserve a Jewish state, I mean, is the idea of a Jewish state contradictory to democracy? Is the idea of a religious state contradictory to freedom? Is it contradictory to the ideals of what America was founded on?
If you're a Palestinian.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if you're a freedom-loving individual, true, right, you would want no government to enforce any religious dogma or doctrine upon the people, right? I mean, that's so intimate.
Separation of church and state, right? Oh no, this is complete combination, amalgamation of it. Abomination. Yeah, no, this is a walking religious state.
A theocracy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and we fail to realize that. Same with the Vatican. We fail to realize that the Vatican plays an essential role in the United Nations.
We bow down to that. We bow down to both. Nations, we bow down to both.
In the European Union.
We act like they're states of God.
They play an essential role in the diplomacy and the coordination of nations, states, and international politics. And we act like it's okay. It's not something to be feared or something to be questioned or something to be looked into.
It's like slavery, murder, theft. In the name of God, it's okay somehow or something. It's like you're on some pagan sacrifice garbage.
With God on our side, right? Bob Dylan, classic song, right?
Yeah, his guy. We already know he sold his soul to somebody else.
True.
The God of this world.
True. He did say that, but that song that song's pretty good.
It is. Yeah. No, I like Bob Dylan, man. I mean, a little bit.
Even the devil speaks. Even the devil speaks some truth. Right?
That fork-tongued son of a. Oh yeah, they have to speak some truth, man. How are they going to get you to bite that, apple, dude? Like. You got to put some cyanide in there.
Though it hasn't taken much truth nowadays. It seems
less and less. It takes less and less truth.
Every year it just takes less and less effort for them to get us on board.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just eating it up, swallowing it up, hook, line, and sinker.
People
taking the pill.
Joe Biden,
drinking the Kool-Aid.
Other politicians get up there and call themselves Zionists, and no one even bothers to think about what that even means.
Right. Can't define things for themselves.
It's like putting humans to the side and this entity over the belief in this arbitrary entity over everything else, and it's not God.
Yeah, no,
and even if it was, I mean, it's still wrong to destroy everything in the name of.
Well, and that's very true. And they use Isaiah 66 here, verse 8, where it says, "Who hath heard such a thing? Who hath seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children." They use this verse in Isaiah, which was before the Assyrian and before the Babylonian captivity. We're talking about 600 BC over here. And they're applying this to 1948.
Oh, dispensationalists are crazy.
They're applying it to 1948. I don't get it. It actually had to do, when you read the whole chapter, read Isaiah 66 from the beginning, and you realize that God is saying, if only my people were to turn away from their sins, basically in a summation, then I would give them these things. They would be the apple in my eye. If only they would obey me. If only they would turn away from their iniquity. That's all God asks from us, from everybody. He's willing to make you his child, right? If you're willing to put away unrighteousness, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but we want to distort it and try to make it some political agenda here. Let's distort Isaiah into some political agenda. Yeah, that's really holy. That's really righteous. Come on now, give me a break. Coming on a break.
I wouldn't want to be the one doing that. Stay tuned, Truth Exposed Radio.
Do not pass go. Go directly to jail. That's what lawbreakers normally hear from courts, but in Alabama, one judge is offering offenders a unique option for punishment. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht, and in a moment, I'll tell you what it is.
Privacy is under attack. When you give up data about yourself, you'll never get it back again. And once your privacy is gone, you'll find your freedoms will start to vanish too. So protect your rights, say no to surveillance, and keep your information to yourself. Privacy, it's worth hanging on to. This message is brought to you by StartPage.com, the private search engine alternative to Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Start over with StartPage.
No country puts a bigger share of its citizens behind bars than the U.S. But in Bay Minette, Alabama, one judge is offering a novel alternative to jail: go to church on Sundays. This only applies to people convicted of misdemeanors, and offenders must check in weekly with their pastor and the police. Then after 52 sermons, their cases are dismissed. The ACLU says this violates the separation between church and state, and other critics say it's unfair to atheists and minority religions. But I say the program is at least worth trying. Being at church on Sunday rather than a prison cell just might change the lives of people on the wrong path. I'm Dr. Catherine Albrecht for StartPage.com, the world's most private search engine.
We'll be kidding about chemtrails.
You're listening to the Logos Radio Network at logosradionetwork.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back live. This is Truth Exposed here on the Logos Radio Network.
Yeah.
February 3rd,
2016.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful year.
Live here every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. And we are breaking down the critical, the untouchable topic, Zionism and its origins.
Oh, yeah. Just finished discussing Isaiah 66, the perversion of this verse 8, 66 verse 8, the perversion of this.
And these perverts pervert a lot of things. There's a lot of perversion. There's a lot of perversion going on once you start looking into this stuff.
What is this, a Disney theme park?
Yeah.
Pretty perverted over here.
Yeah, you think you're looking at a Smurf or something, but it's got, you're looking at some sexual organ or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's crazy.
A Bolshevik. A
Bolshevik. Yeah, there you go.
The Smurfs are the communists.
Hey, man. Papa Smurf, man.
Yeah.
Why is that boy all red?
They got the Jacobin hats on.
Yeah. Papa Smurf had a red Jacobin hat on.
Jacobin, yeah.
What was up with that? I don't know. He's leading them all, too.
So definitely read up Isaiah 66, the whole chapter, and read verse by verse. And not only do that, but before you go in any commentary, don't go to any of the modern dispensationalist commentaries, televangelist commentaries.
Do that later.
Yeah, if your commentary fits within a whole Bible, you ain't got the right one. You should have at least, at the minimum, like a 3-volume set here going on here.
I'll tell you what, when you hear both sides, you can discern the truth from the lies.
Oh, yeah. Definitely check out Calvin, Albert Barnes. Check out Adam Clark, John Wesley, Matthew Henry. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Matthew Poole, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So many commentaries. John Gill, Charles Spurgeon.
Boy, you got an encyclopedia of names over there.
And each one got an encyclopedia of information.
Which is extremely critical when these other people have like 2 or 3 books and stuff in one book. And, we're all supposed to throw our baby in the wood chipper for one book.
Yeah, a couple notes here at the bottom of a chapter.
A couple
you better support Israel or else.
Yeah, or don't read the book itself. Just read the side notes we wrote on the side of the book, the commentary or whatever, the Schofield, we'll tell you how to be good dispensationalists.
Oh yeah. So what's this membership of the Zionist Congress? What's it built up with? Well, it involves or the Zionist organization rather. I'm sorry. It's open to all Jews, first of all, and they have the right to vote as delegates in the Congresses, so long as they're purchased, they pay their shekel, their Zionist shekel, which is apparently a whole thing in itself. Definitely look that one up. Delegations from all around the world and from many parts of different political backgrounds and religious traditions and religious traditions took part in each Congress. Delegations, parties were mainly grouped by ideology rather than geography. That makes sense. So you have your extreme, hardcore Zionists, your middle of the road, mediocre Zionists, your light Zionists,
your porch Zionists. Yeah, there's levels to this, just like anything else. You've got people and different levels of awareness of what's going on.
Oh yeah. So it wasn't until 1960 till the Zionist organization changed their name to the World Zionist Organization, and they adopted a new constitution where individuals were enabled for membership, which different memberships which were reserved for organizations in particular. Presidents of the World Zionist Organization, the first one, of course, Theodor Herzl from 1897 to 1904, and he was followed by David Wolfson, son of a wolf. There's another name for that, isn't there?
Yes.
1905 to 1911. Sister organizations. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch.
SLB.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think so.
Anyway.
I think so.
Anyway.
So now moving on to the World Zionist Congress here. Established at the World Zionist Organization, meaning the World Zionist Congress, established by Herzl himself, is the legislative authority of the Zionist movement. It elects officers and decides on the policy of the World Zionist Organization and the Jewish Agency, which again is the grouping of all the industrialists and bankers and governmental agencies that are willing to help the Zionist cause.
This is like umbrella after umbrella. I mean,
how much is it raining over here?
A lot, bro. I mean,
Apparently,
they've got to have all these umbrellas, man. I mean, just because. I mean, somebody's gonna figure something out.
Well, and it shows they're very organized. You know, it shows they're very organized, meticulous, very methodological with their breakdown.
Definitely. I mean, I can't remember all these groups.
Yeah, right. So the first World Zionist, of course, as we talked about, was held in Basel, Switzerland, August 1897. Any Jew over the age of 18 who belonged to the Zionist Association was eligible to vote. The number of elected delegates to the Congress is 500. 38% of those 500 are delegates allocated to Israel. 38%, 29% to the United States of America. Interesting. And the other 33% to remaining countries of the people in diaspora and the Jews and out and about, the wandering Jew, right, out in without their homeland.
So the United States of America,
33% of the delegates go to the United States. Oh, I'm sorry,
29%. So
38 to Israel, 29 to.
We've got a stake in it.
We've got a stake in it, and that other 33%, the final 33%. I wonder how much of that goes to the British Isles and the British Queen.
I wonder if that's the percentage of the GDP or whatever. I mean, 15 billion or whatever I know the original numbers are like 5 or 3 or something, but the total is in the upper tens, and it's crazy.
Right. So in addition to these 500 delegates, there's about another 100 delegates which are appointed by the international organizations themselves. These think tanks, these umbrella groups, these smoke screens, like B'nai B'rith and so on and so forth, affiliated with the World Zionist Organization. From 1897 to 19...
It's the Wizard of Oz, bro.
Who's behind the curtain?
Yeah, who's behind the curtain? Wizzo,
yeah, the
Wizard
World
of Oz,
Zionist Organization, for sure. From 1897 to 1901, the Zionist Congress met every year. See the first Zionist Congress, right? From 1897 to 1901, they met every year. Then every second year, from 1903 to 1913, and 1921 and 1939 until 1946, the Congress was held every 2 years in various European countries, save for interruptions during, of course, the 2 world wars. Their goal was to build an infrastructure to further the cause of the Jewish settlement in Palestine, or settlements, right? Plural. That should be very plural there, in Palestine. Since the Second World War, meetings have been held approximately every 4 years or so. Every 4 years. Also, since the creation of the State of Israel, the Congress has met every 4 or 5 years in Jerusalem, so 4 years or so.
And, just to point out, this is one of the main reasons why we need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. I mean, this thing is like this Rothschild's creation that's stealing our wealth and feeding this project. This has all been pre-planned and pre-set up. They know they're extracting our wealth to feed this thing, to feed this movement. And they planned it over 50 years ago, or probably even longer than
prior to the actual creation of the state. Yeah, I mean, the Rothschilds were essential to the settlements that were being built in Palestine, the Jewish settlements.
It's almost perfect timing when we get the Fed Bank at 1913. I mean, what was it? 18
right,
something.
The Sultan's falling. World War II is coming about.
It's all perfect. It's all in line with their whole agenda. And we're over here gullible suckers
thinking things just happen just because.
Yeah.
There's no precedent for anything.
The keys are
no
on
cause and effect.
The red shield, the hexagram that's got us all in this hex is on your dollar bill. It's right there.
Well, that's another really good point too, isn't it, Cud? The origin of this so-called Star of David. That's an interesting thing that you bring up there, sir.
I mean, just pointing out, some of the things we learned early on when we start to, get into this conspiracy, of the New World Order and everything. We're coming on to a break here. Truth Exposed. Stay tuned.
Easy.
And we are back live. This is Truth Exposed here on the Logos Radio Network. I am one of your hosts, Cuddy Rowe, with
Rick Rody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be breaking down this Zionism.
We are on our last segment, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we got to be saying bye pretty soon. Before we do say bye, though, if you're having to say bye yourself and having to find yourself a new place, definitely call up Michael Zuniga. He can help you out San Antonio, New Braunfels, Austin area. You want to find an apartment, want to find a home, particularly an apartment. You're not ready for a home. You just want a place for a couple 6 months, 1 year lease.
Relocate? Definitely.
Yeah, call him up.
That's Michael
Zuniga, 210-449-9944. Mention Truth Exposed Radio, Rick Rody, Cuddy Rowe, and he'll treat you right. Treat you real good. You'll be happy. I mean, that's how we got the headquarters for this place right now. And it is a G apartment, I'll tell you what.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For what I'm paying and what I got, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so definitely, just, little sponsor there.
Little sponsor. You need them, don't you, Cud?
Definitely. And, it's, that's how we network. It's how we work together, You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
And of course, Mike, I mean, we're good friends and all. I mean, we talk every now and then. Good guy, recently got married and everything. But, of course, his organization doesn't necessarily back up everything that we say. Of course, no organization backs up everything we say, do they, Cut?
Man, they can't, man. They're gonna get like all kinds of in trouble and stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna get in illegal predicaments and whatnot.
Don't you know who controls this state? Yeah, no, that's why we're on the radio doing this, because we know a lot of people can't do this. You can't. There's repercussions for spitting the truth.
There sure is. So much stuff, and we're about to get into the Star of David here. And it turns out, there's even true Torah Jews
and one of the things,
Zionism.
I was mentioning, before the break was, the Federal Reserve and it's Rothschild Zionist creation. The symbols are on our money. I mean, that's one of the first things you learn is that Star of David and the Mason's little logo and the pyramid and all this stuff on the dollar bill. And then you do the research, you find out that Star of David is not the Star of David, and it's not per se Israel. It's the Rothschilds family crest. It's the sign why they called Rothschilds. It was a red hexagram on the sign of their business when they were silversmiths way back in the day.
And as Walter Veith has pointed out too, he's shown the same symbol, the six-pointed star, on temples for Baal, and
it is also
it's a pagan symbol, and true Torah Jews against Zionism. If you check them out, truetorahjews.org, they have a whole article on the breakdown of the star, and they admit that it comes from cultures that are pre-Jewish or came about at the same time with the Jews, but not necessarily Jewish in particular.
It's cult knowledge. And I'll tell you right now, I did a little bit deeper research, and I actually found out that it's actually a drawing or a visualization,
representation,
and a visualization,
symbolic representative.
Well, no, actually, of a frequency. If you play a frequency through a speaker, when you put the salt on a board and you play a certain frequency, you can get that Star of David. So there's a little bit, there's some deep knowledge into the actual symbol or whatever where its origins come from. But
that may explain the star, the hexagram on the on Saturn. Maybe a frequency on the planet that the planet itself is exerting in some way.
Exactly. Yeah. And then that's for some later, deeper, stuff. But yeah, definitely.
Because there is a hexagram, right?
There is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And there's definitely something. There's
a reason for it, obviously. I mean,
there is. So, and there's worships of Saturn, and there's all kinds of things. So yeah, definitely.
And it's the World Zionist Congress.
Yeah.
That's where they hold their meetings.
In the hexagram on Saturn. No. No, but yeah, there's definitely some deeper meanings and things to it. But they're definitely using it against us. I mean, they're in a movement against us, and they've got their symbols and their logos and whatnot. I mean,
right, because the Zionist world isn't too good of a world for you and I, is it good?
No,
for a lot of our listeners.
Go and try to become a citizen of Israel, and you're going to find out what
it means to be second class.
What it means to be Zion. They have to have their own state because they're not going to treat you the same.
Yeah, and there is footage. Rabbis and different rabbinical people they look like rabbis, at least very Orthodox Jewish people in Israel, admitting to the fact that, the Goy and Gentiles are, just like the Talmud says, are meant to serve the Jew. Yeah. Are here to serve the Jew, that we're basically cattle. We're on the level of animals to be used and herded by these chosen people, which, as we've covered in the past, have a strong mix with Edomites, right? 160 BC, Judea 130 BC. Judea was forcibly converted by Johanan Hyrcanus of the Edomites, and it's also the Ashkenazi Khazarian, the 13th tribe, these Khazarian Jews that converted in the 8th century and went to Eastern Europe in the 12th and 13th centuries and became what is now known as the Khazarian Jew, the Eastern German Jew,
or the Khazars.
The Khazars, yeah,
definitely. And it's not also exclusive to that. I mean, other people are now joining, and that's why we have Christian Zionists, and it's other people are falling into this trap of helping push this agenda, and it's all through religion and state
and politics, yeah, which never make for the best of bedfellows.
Why the founding fathers said separation of church and state, but hey, we could have just kept the church and just got rid of the state.
Right,
been just fine.
It made it, just force the church to be voluntary, because the second it's not voluntary, well, then guess what? It's a state.
Yeah, and then it's a state.
It's a state.
Coercion, it's definitely.
When a mob's able to control everybody on a geographical area, then that's what you call, typically, it goes from the position of being a mob to a state.
And that's at the heart of all our arguments is statism, force, coercion. We're all about freedom. We're against being forced, to do anything other than be free and to be an individual,
So this whole two-state solution that the Vatican is trying to work out, the Pope is trying to work out,
and a lot of people
Bill Clinton try to work out.
I see their profile with the green and the black,
the Palestinian
red,
flag,
the Palestinian flag, and they're all trying to be my friend because they see I'm against Israel. But I'm not for that state. Like, I'm against statism, bro. That's the problem.
Isn't that what democracy does? We might as well have a state just for black people. We might as well have a state just for white people, a state just for Protestants, a state just for Lutherans, a state just for, a state just for vegetarians, a state just for homosexuals.
The state for the slow people.
Yeah.
They're going to be...
Talk about some inflation going on.
Okay. Oh, man. I'm just...
No, but that's what democracy ends up doing, doesn't it? It ends up factioning society out into a whole bunch of different factions that are willing to
divide and conquer,
fight and politically stab each other in the back in order to get ahead. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Creates classes. Yeah, definitely. And, that's what we're trying to fight against. That's what we're trying to point out it's not as simple as just a religion or it really comes down to force and coercion and statism.
Oh yeah. And if you don't think that Rubio and Cruz are totally, lapdog and chained up to the Israeli lobby.
Go listen to their words out of their own mouth.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. When it comes to antagonization against Russia,
they've written it down though somewhere.
Against Iran, when it comes to the blatant support of Israel. And not that this is another point that we need to really clarify, because we're just wrapping things up, unfortunately, and we're going to get to more information next week. But, to re-clarify is that just because we're so critical of the Zionist state doesn't mean we're against, doesn't mean we're against them as a people in any way. You know what I'm saying? If people have a right to form alliances and congregations.
We're the real coexisters.
Aren't we? We tried to,
The state is what keeps people from being able to coexist. Is your force and your coercion and your...
Isn't the state the declaration of war?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Those that are within the state versus those that are without.
If you're not for the state, then they're against you. It is a declaration of war. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to live off of your plunder.
War against your freedom.
We're going to take away your freedom. We're going to regulate.
War against the individual.
Yeah.
It's collectivism over free-thinking individuals. Individual thought, individual action. We're fighting collectivism. It's a.
This does put us at the front of the line when it comes to ISIS, don't it?
They would
be beheading
everyone
us
else
first.
is going to be for
They would be beheading us first before they beheaded anybody else. I mean, so many times I get criticized and told that I should leave the country because, I don't respect freedom and people are dying for my freedom. Unfortunately,
they don't even have the concepts of freedom.
Yeah, I really do believe that we would be in the front of the line when it came to being beheaded under an ISIS regime way before any of these people that, serve in the military, because they would be trained to think that, hey, that's what the family wants. That's what the society wants. That's what the religion wants. That's what God wants. You'd be hoorahing, hooray, all charismatically all day for Allah. I mean, it's no different than what we're doing over here.
Nope.
Come on now.
Nope. But somehow the same actions somehow have, my
different consequences.
Yeah, my version of statism and force and coercion is better than your version of statism and force and coercion is. And it's
the
really,
endless cycle, right?
And that's what's bringing out the whole New World Order. They're purposely, rubbing the factions against each other to bring about, it's war. It's peace through war, right?
That's just the New Atlantis, the New World Order. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's create something out of destruction.
And that's why we need each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen. We need each and every one of you to wake up, continue learning, start to learning, because we ain't the end of it. We're just the beginning.
Yeah.
So
let's build up truth and let's build up freedom, and let's not self-destruct on these lies and this. Not thinking about what's going on.
Pointless sophistries, for sure. We got the Crypto Show coming on next. Great interview. Definitely stay tuned. Crypto Show every Wednesday.
Stay tuned.